Okay. All right. Hey guys, you guys want to post in the comment section who's on? I got a mojito here that Jazz's Uncle Ray, well, my uncle Ray, made. It tastes just like there's like no alcohol and it's great. Efren right now and a beer, nice. Cheers, Efren. No mint. Put that right back in. So I hope everybody had a good week. Nice weekend. We got Labor Day weekend coming up next week. And I got a 4-day weekend, so I hope, maybe we could tee it up, guys. That'd be great. Tee it up on Labor Day weekend. So just let me know. But good week 5. All right, we got a couple more joining. Awesome. Yeah, great week 5. So, things have definitely got shaken up in the standings. Me personally, my goal 2 weeks ago after week 3 ended was to go. All right, Joe. Yeah, let's tee it up, man. Again, my goal was to go into the toughest part of at the moment, the toughest part of my schedule against Joe and then against David. And the best case, like a dream would have been to go 2-0, but I needed to at least go 1-1, and I was able to do that. Did I face David at his best? Absolutely not. I think I caught David at the right time. Got David on his probably his worst week this season, and but I'll take it. I'll take the win. My team put up great stats. A couple other standouts. Joe, man, you just continue to just keep rocking, man. Your team is just, you are the team to beat right now. I mean, you will be in first place tomorrow, and your team is on fire, man. So props to you. Definitely got a full roster working for you. Another standout, Alejandro got a big win against Adam. That'll shake things up. Alejandro continues to stay consistent and build up in the rankings, and now I think he's gonna be number 3. Yeah, because it'll go Joe, David, possibly actually Joe, Alejandro, David, because Alejandro and David will both have 4 points, but Alejandro's coming off a win, so another standout right there. Justin right back into things with the win, and the other standout, AJ got a much needed win, and AJ's going to be moved up to, I think, to number 5 or 4. So AJ's right there in contention, and if he wins out, he wins. He's in. So let's go through each matchup, guys. And again, thank you for being on. And oh man, Reese Hoskins, guys, swinging a good bat right now. Okay, so and then after I go through the week matchups, and then go into like next week's projections, and we'll talk about the trades. A lot of trades went down. I am notorious for making trades, and I made a lot of trades. So and a bunch of trades went down, and more still to come till tomorrow. So let's keep it going. But let's look at the matchups. Again, I got to win over David, give him his first loss of the season. Efren got a big win to stay in contention against Dale. So Efren's still right in there. It's going to be right there in the top 5, 6 still. I think me and Efren play week 7. So if we both win next week, that matchup might determine who gets that 4 spot. So we'll see. Again, Joe touched the base on your team. You got a big win against Carlos. Joe just keeps on rolling. Moy got a win over Ray. So Moy, this is a perfect example of, hey, I might not be in contention, but give me my $50, man. So good job, Moy. Justin, again, big rebound win over Chewy. Took advantage of the last place team, and still a close matchup. Chewy's offense is no joke. Again, Alejandro, big win against Adam. positioning himself nice in a nice spot going to the last 2 weeks for playoff run. And then AJ, like I said, a big win over a team on the lower of the rankings with Domingo, and continuing to move up in the rankings to playoff contention. So week 5 definitely didn't have any real close matchups. It was kind of like last week. Teams secured victory. Well, secured a lead early on and never really let go. So I don't think this will continue. I think once we look into next week's matchups, I think we're going to see a lot more even matchups next week, and we're going to definitely see another shakeup in the standings. But yeah, I talked about the standouts. There's a few players I want to acknowledge. I think there's some teams that really did well on picking up a player that just I didn't have on my radar. But I just I mean, a couple of them were obvious, but I wasn't expecting this good of a season. But first one I want to talk about is Adam with Trey Turner. Probably getting Trey Turner on one of his best year of his career. Guy's doing an amazing job hitting. I think they said today he's hitting like 375, 378 on the year. So that's a great pick. Joe with Luke Voigt. That guy just keeps hitting home runs. Great average. AJ with Mitch Moreland. He just got traded. He was a hot commodity, but he's batting over 315 with 8-9 home runs. So that was a big pickup. And then I loved the player. What was it on Justin's team? A pitcher. Sorry, I had it ready. Damn it, Justin. Because Justin's pitching has been consistent the whole year. Is it Zach Gallen? Yeah, from Arizona. Guy's doing awesome. He has one win, but he has a 2.0 ERA and 6 quality starts. So, Justin's pitching is definitely – Justin and Joe have two sides of what you need for a championship run. So, big ups to them. So, let's look into next week's matchups, because I think the majority of this video is going to be talking about the trades, because, I mean, that stuff was great to see, and I love the conversation on GroupMe. So next week, week 6, equivalent of week 19. I think our season goes to 21, but let's just say 19 week, equivalent to week 19, week 20 in a regular season. So let's look at week 6 and some standout matchups. Again, I wouldn't do I don't think there's a matchup of the week this week, because just considering there was no close matchups going into Sunday, but week 6, we got, to kick it off, Efren versus Justin. So I think that's going to be the matchup to watch. Just looking at them real quick. Yeah, I like Efren versus Justin. Efren needs to keep winning in order to stay in contention, and Justin needs to keep winning. I think they're going to be right next to each other in the rankings after starting tomorrow, and one can ruin the other's path to the playoffs. So if Efren gets a win, that's a huge win going into week 7 against me. If Justin gets a win, I believe he has a favorable matchup week 7, but we'll look at that next weekend. And I think that's a great way to go into week 7, right? Coming off Labor Day weekend. But yeah, so I would say matchup of the week to watch is Efren versus Justin. A lot at stake there. And then I like Moy versus Alejandro. Moy's can play spoiler, man. He definitely likes to do it. And like I said, there's $50 to win every week. And if he can give Alejandro his first loss that late into the season, that could definitely hurt Alejandro in terms of his playoff position. So especially with 2 losses being kind of the threshold for whether you're in or out. But, Alejandro could accumulate enough points to stay in contention. But anyway, Moy could play big spoiler next week. So that's another one to watch. The other ones are kind of low-ranked teams versus high-ranked teams, or matchups that kind of are just worth playing for $50 that week. You got David against Carlos. David needs to get a rebound win next week to go back into going into week 7 with a win. He needs to just stay with 1 loss. If David gets a second loss, he's definitely in a tough spot going into week 7. You got Ray versus Domingo. Again, play for the $50, so you can win that money. You got Joe against AJ. The way Joe's team is playing, AJ, you're up against it, man. But AJ could play spoiler. If Joe gets a win, I think he gets the asterisk at the beginning of week 7 for playoffs. I think if Joe gets a win week 6, I believe he'll get a playoff asterisk. I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty confident he will. Going to week 7 with 1 loss. But if AJ loses, that's tough, man, because AJ has the toughest remaining schedule. AJ plays Joe, and then week 7 he plays David. So AJ can definitely turn some heads if he wins out, but he's going to have – and if he does win out, he can be looking like one of the best teams. But, man, AJ's back is up against it. Adam versus Dale. Adam needs a rebound win. Dale needs to kind of – I think Dale's trying to, at this point, win just for the money. He's at 3 losses now. I don't think he's in contention anymore. But, hey, get that money. Dale's made a lot of moves. So has Adam with the trade. So you guys keep setting your lineups and keep playing and get that money, right? And then I play Chewy. Definitely can't take Chewy lightly. It's a must win. Every week now, week 6 and 7 is a must win for me. But every time I play Chewy, it comes down to the wire. Typically, with the regular past years, we kind of play the same person every week 1. And week 1, Chewy was my guy. And every time with that extended week, it would come down to the last day. So I'm definitely not taking Chewy's team lightly. He's got JD Martinez and Bryce Harper. I believe he has McCutcheon, who's just on a tear. So let's see. Votto, Corey Seager, JD, McCutcheon, Harper, Nelly Cruz. So he's Walker Buehler. So, yeah, Chewy's team is nothing to take lightly, but it's a must-win for me. So, yeah, that's a preview for week 6. Definitely a couple teams can take a bump in the road if they don't win this late into the playoffs, going into the playoffs, and then some teams definitely are in a position to play spoiler. But still, set your lineup and try to win that $50, right? If you win this week and next week, and you paid that trade deposit, which was like $110, you get $100 of that back, man. So, you're not only are you $110 invested into next year's payout, but you're getting $100 of that money back. So, it's all, I don't know what the right word to say is surplus, but you're already $110 in and getting some of that money back. So it's worth setting your lineup and playing for. So let's talk about the big week of trades that we had. I'm going to start with the pending ones. I'm not going to talk about the weeks before because I already talked about that. I'm strictly talking about week 5. So the first one pending, Dale and Adam, is a straight player trade. I think it's Willie Adames. Dale gets 1 player, gave Adam 2, gave Adam Wainwright and Gallo. 2 good players, solid players. Yeah, my throat's getting dry. But yeah, so straight player trade there, 1 for 2. Then we had David with Moy. I like this trade. I felt it was very fair. Moy gets a good third baseman in Anderson for Miami. Not great, but good. But he gets a 9th round pick. David gets Muncy, first, second, third base on the Dodgers, and a 12th round pick. So fair, good trade. And then I traded with Adam. Definitely like this trade. I wouldn't have liked it so much if I didn't win this week. But going into next week, I like Chris Paddock. I was able to get a solid pitcher on a good team with the Padres. And I think it's Kyle Lewis. He's that stud coming out of the Mariners outfield. I was looking for an outfielder to try to solidify my outfield. I just don't have the consistency with Adam Eaton and Corey Dickerson. They're batting .230 between the two, both of them. And I just needed more of a punch in the outfield. And I was able to get that. And it cost me my 5th round pick, which I had told Efren prior I wasn't trying to touch my top 5 picks. But considering that I'm still in contention, I had to make a move. I made a lot of moves, but this is one that really affected my top 5 picks. But I got a 9th pick in return, and I sent Adam, Corey Dickerson, and Charlie Morton. Charlie Morton is coming. He's set to come back. I think he's going to make his Tuesday or Wednesday start. But I did get some pitching earlier this week that I'll talk about, the supplement that Charlie Morton trade. I gave him Corey Dickerson, Charlie Morton, in a 5th-round pick. I got a 9th, Chris Paddock, and Kyle Lewis. So I was very happy with that trade. And now let's look at the other ones that were done. And at the comments, David said, Mojito time. Yes, sir. Efren, big matchup for me. Got Carter next, and then you after. Yeah, so definitely, Efren, I would say you maybe have the second toughest schedule the rest of the way behind AJ, who plays Joe and David. So let's go to transactions. Now let's go down the list. So Dale traded Machado and a 9th-round pick. Alejandro traded Moustakas and a 4th-round pick. I get this for Alejandro. Alejandro is in contention. He's in the top 4 right now. Starting tomorrow, he's going to be the number 3 team, I believe. Joe, David, Alejandro, and I believe AJ, and then me, Efren, Justin, and then Adam. So Alejandro, typically, he hasn't made the playoffs, and this is his opportunity to get one. And I totally say, support making big moves when you're in contention. If you get to the championship, if you get to the playoffs, it's justified in my mind. Like, if you get to the championship, great. But you have to make these moves at the end to get those needs that you need to fill to create a solid whole team for the playoff run. So Alejandro, and Machado's a beast, man. Like, he's having a great year on a team. When you want to target good players, but if you can target great players on good teams, that's a home run. And it only costs you a 4th-round pick. You didn't even have to touch your 2nd or 3rd pick. That means you'll get your freeze. You'll get say your freeze is offense. You'll get maybe a stud pitcher at the 2nd round, and then another great player 3rd round. So I love the pick. And Dale, you got Moustakas in the 4th round, and Alejandro got Machado in the 9th round. So great trade there. And then the next one, Alejandro trading Zach Davies in a 5th round to Adam for Bauer in a 10th round. Again, Alejandro trying to build up his team, create a more strong, well-rounded team. Trevor Bauer's really good. Coming off not a great start, but he's been a stud the whole season. And he gets tons of offensive support. I love Adam picking up a 5th-round pick and a good pitcher in Zach Davies. The Brewers aren't really good this year, but getting a 5th-round pick and a pitcher that can still help you win $50 a week, it's a home run. Great trade there. Next one took place on Thursday, and that was me and Moy. And this was, like I was saying, I needed to make – this trade was purely making a move. Alejandro Davies plays for SD. Oh, shit. Okay, well, either way, he's been great. So, but going back to the me and Moy trade, going into this week against David, my strategy was I'm going to try to win pitching because David has good pitchers, but I haven't seen the consistency that I saw with his offense. So if I had a chance, it was to hope that Corbin and Castillo and Snell would maintain their trajectory right now, which is they're just doing good. They're not doing great. They're doing okay. But they all have, they sport between 3 to 5 ERAs. And that's why I made the move for Darvish. And the trade talks even start like that. It started with offense, and I was able to switch it up and flip the offer for Darvish. And me and Moy were talking at like 11:30 at night, and it was trades after dark. So it was cool. And I got Darvish, and he ended up doing it. Had a shutout win, and helped my ERA. I gave up a 7th-round pick for it. I gave up Anibal Sanchez, so Moy walked away with Anibal Sanchez, who I got from Joe. I flipped him to Moy with the 7th round, and I got Darvish in a 16th. Essentially, I got that 16th pick that I traded to Joe. So I flipped the pitcher I got from Joe, and I got the pick back that I traded to Joe. But Darvish is a beast, and if I do make the playoffs, he's going to be my number 2 behind DeGrom. Then we had Dale made a trade with me. I traded Dale Justin Upton and my 9th round pick, and I got the outfielder Grisham. Like I said, I felt my deficiencies were in the outfield. Other than Ozuna, I didn't have a really good outfield. Um, but I was able to pick up Kyle Lewis from Adam today, and I got Grisham from Dale. Now with those two and Ozuna, I really like my outfield a lot. I gave Dale a ninth round to Dale, picked up on a top 10 pick. You know, it's a great pickup. You know, we know there's tons of value in the ninth round, and I got a 21th round in return. So a late pick, but again, I'm playing because I'm still in it. So, and that was again me trying to make moves to try to compete against David this week because I knew it was a must-win week. And at that point, I hadn't traded any top eights, well, any top 5 picks. Okay, so now Tuesday, August 25th, Ray made a trade with David. David picked up a pitcher to add to his pitching rotation in Barrios, and he picked up a 17th round pick. Ray got Rich Hill and the 10th round pick from David. Good trade. Rich Hill just got activated, I think. So, hold on. So, Ray's gonna definitely will be able to use that player and compete for $50. But he walked away with a 10th round pick, and David picked up another pitcher. And then now David has Corbin, Castillo, Snell, Barrios, and sorry, David, the 5th one escapes me. Let me look it up. That Dobnik guy from the Twins. So you got 2 pitchers on. I think the Twins have the 2nd best record in baseball, or the 3rd best. So and then you have Hendricks, who's on the Cubs, who I think are a first place team too. So David, good move there. You definitely knew your needs were pitching, and you got that piece that you needed going into playoffs. That's what this trade deadline is about. Either working where you're out of contention, you're working towards next year, or you're in contention, you're trying to build a complete team to compete to go into the playoff run, right? All right, so let's go. I think there was a couple more that went down this week. I made another. No. Let's see. Alejandro and Moy, same day, Tuesday. So a lot of trades went down Tuesday. We had 3. Alejandro traded with Moy. Alejandro traded away Reynolds and Mike Fiers and a 6th and an 8th round pick. And Moy traded away Eloy Jimenez, who's a great outfielder for the White Sox, and Max Fried, a great pitcher, and a 9th and 11th. So I think I like Moy getting 2 top 10 picks, but Alejandro got a great outfielder, got a great pitcher on a good team that's going to give him wins, and he still walked away with a top 10 pick and a pick just outside the top 10 with the 11th pick. So I know they were kind of talking for a while, and Alejandro made a comment like trying to work with Moy's, crazy dealings. But you got it done, man, and that's a great trade there. Moy picked up some early round picks, and you walked away with 2 good pieces to help your team. And then I made a trade with AJ. Gave him Cesar Hernandez in a round 19 pick for Profar and a round 14 pick. For me, that was strictly just getting a pick back, getting a 14th pick back. And then on the 25th, August 25th again, Efren traded a 2nd and 3rd round pick to Ray for Altuve Arenado, a 5th and an 8th. That's a great job for Efren. Obviously, Efren is playing for this year. Gave up a 2nd and 3rd round pick, though. That means you will have your freeze, and then you won't pick into the 4th round. So I don't know, Efren, if you got moves that you're trying to close within the next 24 hours, but I hope you get it. I hope it does come down to us because those are big moves to make. So that obviously means you're playing for playoffs, right? Playoff run, but that's a big move. Let's look at the comments real quick. So Joe said, what are your thoughts on the in-betweeners, teams making trades but staying competitive for weekly winnings, so not total fire sale? Yeah, I think actually that concludes this week's trades. Yeah, it does. So that's actually perfect time because those were the recaps of the trades. Again, love the trade deadline. Again, I said this a few times. This is the one thing that is the same. This COVID season, everything's really different, but this is the one thing that is the same. And we really took advantage of this. And I know I made at least 7-8 trades. But I love that it brought a lot of excitement back into the league and a lot of positivity. So, but yeah, so those in-betweeners, if you're talking about like teams like Dale, you're talking about teams like Moy. I think Moy got a big win, so he's like an in-betweener. Adam now trading, but still, another in-betweener. Not necessarily fire sailing, but they are putting their best assets out there for offers. There's Segura. Boom. Damn, my offense went off today. They're putting their best assets out there, right? So I don't want to say it's not a fire sale, but if you're willing to do that, you're obviously not 100% convinced you're going to be in contention, right? So I love the moves they're making. I'm all about, man. Like the strategy works, right? Acquiring draft picks, and for the next year, it works. Okay, very clear. It worked for Eric, and it's working for David now. But the one thing I'd have to say about it is that if you're going to do that, if you're going to try to also acquire players to keep you competitive for the winnings, you got to hang on to some of your assets, right? You got to, obviously you want to hang on to your freeze. Like Dale, I asked Dale, who is not available when we talk, and he said Bellinger. Bellinger's his freeze. Okay, fair enough. But you don't put everybody out there and say that you're trying to compete for money, because eventually you run out of enough of your best players to keep you in contention. So I love their mentality of making trades and playing for next year and getting themselves ready for next year. But I wouldn't say everybody's available. That's just me. Like I would say this, and this, and then wait to see what people ask for, what people's needs are, and then just talk to those people specifically about the potential of offering these big players. Don't just put it out there, say everybody's available, because that looks like a fire sale. And that's fine. That's you guys. But that's just me personally. Like if I see someone says, I need first base, and I go, damn, one of my best players is first base, and I know I'm not really in it, I'll just talk to them. I won't put it out there, because I still want, if I can make the deal, cool, I'll make the deal. But I also want to try to continue winning money. And you do that by having a competitive team. I'm not saying they're not getting good players, but I'm definitely, I know they are aiming for better picks than better players. So I don't know if that answers your question, Joe, but I definitely say that if you are saying everyone's available but this person, then my perspective is you are fire sale. You are saying it's a fire sale. So I would find out what people want, and then if it's one of my best players, just let them know, hey, this is what I'm willing to give up. I think that separates a fire sale from just a regular sale. So you guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about week 5? How things got shaken up? Again, we can look at the potential rankings for next week. So Joe will go to 1. Alejandro will go to 2 because he will acquire a 4th point with 3 wins and 2 ties. David will go to 3 with 4 points. AJ will go to 4 with 3.5 points. I will go to 5 with 3 points coming off a win. Efren will go to 6 with 3 points coming off a win. Justin will go to 7 with 3 points coming off a win. And then I think it's going to go Adam and Dale. Adam will have 3 points, but he's coming off a loss. And then Dale will go to 2 and 3. And then Carlos 1, 3 and 1. And then Domingo 1 and 4. Moy's going to move up. Sorry, Moy, you're going to move up to probably number 9, I think. And 9 or 10. And Moy's coming off a win, so he'll be 2 and 3. Yeah, actually, you'll jump Dale because you're coming off a win, and Dale will be 2 and 3. So Moy, we back up, I think, at least top 9. And then Ray with the loss, we 1 and 4, and then Chewy 0 and 5. So, yeah, that recaps week 5. Thank you guys so much. And next week it should be fun. Let's tee it up for Labor Day weekend, going into week 7, the last week of the season. That'll be a good time. I'm off Friday and Monday. But just let me know so I could let you guys know what would be the best day. We can figure out the best day for all of us. Sundays usually are the best for me. Sunday mornings, I think those work really well for everybody. Yeah, it's oh, Justin. All right, Justin made it. Justin made it to the live stream. Just got home. Justin, good job on a big win, man. Got right back in it. Good win, Justin. You definitely got to keep winning. Cheers, man. Me, Efren, Justin have to win out to stay in contention. We have to get to that 5-win mark, and we gotta hope. We gotta hope a couple people above us lose to get us up again in contention. Like I said, I really feel Justin should be ahead of me and Efren coming off of last week. Justin barely lost, and me and Efren got our asses kicked. I don't know what the variables were that separated, that Yahoo decided that Justin would be ranked below us, but I definitely think Justin should be ahead of me and Efren. But we definitely need some people to lose. But the way Joe's team is playing, that's going to be a tough ask. David is definitely going to need to get a rebound win next week, and I know he's going for that. He knows he can't get a second loss. Alejandro has acquired major pieces to keep him winning with Machado and I think they said Max Fried and Eloy Jimenez. So I acquired some guys to keep me in contention, and Efren acquired big guys in Arenado and Altuve. So big moves, big contention opportunities, and we need to shake things up again next week. That'd be great. Things got shaken up, and Joe, you're welcome. You'll be the #1 team going into next week. And again, David, like I said, I know I didn't catch you on your best week. I probably caught you on the best time to play you. That was definitely your worst week of the season. So, David, if anyone finds how Yahoo determines the standing tiebreakers, please send to group me. Yes, please do so. I think, David, that if me, Efren, and Justin are tied, and we're all going for that 4th seed, I think if one of us beat the other one, we'll jump that person. But like I didn't play Justin at all this season, and I don't play him in weeks 6 or 7. So if me and Justin are tied, I'm really curious to see how that works. I think it's like win differential, like how the average amount of points, the total wins, who had the most points in terms of their win differential. So like if there was if over all the wins, if I average 8 points, and Justin averaged 10 points or 9 points, he would get the tiebreaker, I think, because he got a higher average win differential than I did. I think that's how it is if you never played the person. But we'll see. And then again, it's also like if you come off a win, the week 7, if me and Justin or Efren and Justin come off a win, it'll be I think the win differential margin. But I'm not sure. Again, it's a great week. And I know we're going to have a big week 6. And I'm just excited, man. So let's do it, huh? Cheers to a great week 6 and Labor Day weekend. And again, guys, great trade deadline tomorrow. Trade deadline. Let's see some moves be done. I don't think I'll make any more moves. I'm definitely selling, but it's a limited market for me of what I'm putting out there to sell. But keep the conversation going. And cheers. Congrats, guys, on the wins. Get that $50. And we'll see you guys in week 6.